it has been a big day on Capitol Hill today, with Congress narrowly averting a government shutdown as the fight rages on to pass an infrastructure bill that is pivotal to the Biden administration's agenda. Now, while we know that congressional Republicans are just going to block and tackle and vote down pretty much everything, some of the biggest pushback is actually coming from within the Democratic Party. You heard me right. It's actually inter-party drama taking place right now that could sink the most monumental legislative proposal of our time. Now, I've been covering the infrastructure legislation all week because it is indeed the boldest legislation and the most substantial investment that Congress has ever considered making all at once. The combined $4.5 trillion proposal that's on the table would provide a massive investment in people, in children, and in the physical infrastructure that we rely on every single day. But moderates always seem to shudder at the thought of any kind of structural reform that would remake our society to shift the power away from privileged, wealthy people and actually support average workers. And they are dead set on tempering Biden's bold vision to build back better, which is actually quite odd given that they rode the wave to leadership on that very agenda. Now, all their posturing just might shoot Democrats in the foot during midterms if they fail to deliver on anything that was promised. And so far, the score for them right now is that they've delivered a big, fat zero. So, who are these representatives that are currently blocking our blessings? In the Senate, we have none other than Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. And in the House, New Jersey Democrat Josh Gottheimer. Ever heard of him? Nope, figured you hadn't. I bring these two up because we're actually going to get to them later. But the question becomes, why did these three wield such inordinate power over party leadership and the president? We're going to talk about that in a bit, but first, we turn to BNC White House correspondent Ariana Manise for the latest on the standoff on Capitol Hill.
Both chambers acted swiftly today to pass a spending bill that will fund the government through early December in a bipartisan fashion. Meanwhile, the fate of President Biden's economic agenda still hangs in the balance as the Democratic Party remains divided. Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Democrats are on a path to win the infrastructure bill vote, which was originally scheduled for today. But it remains unclear whether Democrats will be able to pass the bill, as many progressives have threatened to oppose the legislation until the social spending package advances as well. Senator Joe Manchin has proposed a top-line cost of $1.5 trillion for the reconciliation package, far below the $3.5 trillion proposed and accepted by progressives.
My top line has been 1.5 because I believe in my heart that what we can do and what the needs we have right now and what we can afford to do without basically changing our whole society to an entitlement mentality.
Whatever. Well, I don't have an offer in front of me. My number is 3.5. Our number is 3.5. Somebody has a different offer, then they can put it on the table. You don't negotiate against yourself. If you go to buy a house, you don't put down an offer, and then before an offer has even been put down on the table, suddenly say, okay, I'm willing to go down another 100,000. Anybody done that? I don't think so. That's not how we negotiate.
Throughout the day, Speaker Pelosi worked behind the scenes in hopes of uniting the party to pull together the votes needed to pass the infrastructure bill in the House, which at this point still remains unclear. Reporting from Washington, I'm Ariana Manise for Amplified.
Thank you, Ariana, for that update. So if you are paying attention to this, you know that it is really chaotic up on the Hill. And I want to break down a lot of language is being thrown around that people probably are confused by. And Ariana shared with us that right now they're debating over this reconciliation package. We also talk about it as human infrastructure. Now you're hearing language about social spending. It's all the same thing. All three of those are the same thing. So essentially, you know, why did Nancy Pelosi choose to uncouple the infrastructure bill bills in the first place and create all this confusing language? Well, the very short of it, as Ariana was describing, is that there are two bills that are attempting to move right now, one of which the Senate has approved that's relatively small, $1 trillion that's actually going to do something about roads and bridges, and the other one is going to do something bigger and bolder to actually support people. And so Pelosi caved to pressure by moderate Democrats who have the power to torpedo the bigger bill and made up an arbitrary deadline and said that she was going to bring up that hard infrastructure piece for a vote. That's what we are waiting on, long overdue, to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen. It was supposed to happen on Monday. It's probably going to happen any moment now. But it doesn't quite seem right now that the progressives are actually going to support the bill that the Senate passed for hard infrastructure because, you know, they actually are trying to get what they really want out of this deal. So we are standing by to watch as we are in this program what is going to happen. But of course, the Republicans are going to try and paint the progressives as obstructionists and turn this into like such a nasty political football. Progressives know, though, that if the social component, so if this bigger piece that's actually going to provide a lot of things that people need beyond just our hardcore infrastructure, that's not attached to the measure at hand, this hard infrastructure bill that the Senate already passed, it's going to be really, really hard to bring it up some other time. So that's why you see in the Democratic Party the posturing and the back and forth between the two factions, because if this doesn't happen today or this week in tandem with the hard infrastructure bill that the Senate passed, it just might not happen at all. And here is why. The reason why is that the bill that is already has moved through the Senate and up is the one that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have endorsed, and they voted for, and it's bipartisan, yay, right? And so it was a little bit of a lighter, easier lift to actually get that one done. So when the House votes on it, presumably today, and they pass it, boom, done, yay, it goes to President Biden's desk, and that's like score, the Democrats actually won something. Here's the challenge, though, is that that is only a fraction of Biden's actual Build Back Better agenda. And by fraction, the original proposal was a $4.5 trillion plan. The piece that they're really hoping can pass today is only $1 trillion of that $4.5 billion plan. So the pre-K and the community college and the corporate accountability and the child tax credits and child care and all these other things are still hanging in the balance, which is actually the big stuff that most Americans want. So we keep talking about it as progressives really want this thing in this Build Back Better plan. And, you know, it's actually the reality that the vast majority of Americans support, when polled, all the things that this bill would do, including how the bill is going to be paid for. So closing tax loopholes for private equity managers and their wealthy heirs, increasing the corporate tax rate from 21% to 26.5%, imposing a 3% surtax on incomes over $5 million. Americans actually want to do all those things, and they think that we should spend money to help them keep more money in their pockets and have paid family leave and do all the things that they need to take care of their children and their families. And so what seems to be happening on the Hill right now is that the progressives are really in a standoff, saying, look, not only are we trying to move the president's agenda, right, that the president asked for, trying to do that, we're also trying to move America's agenda, because the vast majority of people support this. If they give up, and the question becomes, are they going to give up? Like, what's actually going to go down here? If the progressives just give up and say, okay, well, we'll vote for this Senate bipartisan thing that, you know, Joe Manchin pretty much has already supported, what's going to happen after that? Well, we don't exactly think. that that's going to be a win for anybody. And so we're going to see what's going to happen. I mean, at this point in time, I have to say that I personally, as someone who watches this all the time, am extremely flustered and frustrated by the fact that the Democratic Party is continuing to be beholden to a very small faction and a very small minority that is not really here to support the president's agenda, to support the Democrats' agenda writ large. And they were actually elected to do the things that they said that they were going to come to Washington and actually do. And here we are approaching October 1st tomorrow, and they haven't made good on any of that agenda that they rode into on. And might I add that it's actually black voters who gave them the power in Washington. It was black voters that elected Joe Biden and put him in the White House. It was black voters that actually gave Nancy Pelosi the gavel and created a majority in the House and in the Senate. And so now it's like, y'all got all this power. What are you doing for us? And right now, there's nothing that's been checked off of that list in any major monumental way, which is why I'm talking so much about this and paying attention and watching, because we're already like through the first year of this administration and midterms are coming up. And so how can, you know, what progressives are saying, it's like, look, we're going to rally here and we're going to rally on behalf of the people because, one, the people appreciate it. If you look at all the polls, the people are actually quite enthusiastic and happy to see that there are Democrats who are saying, look, we're actually defending you, we're supporting you, we're not going to stop until we get this measure passed that's actually going to support so many millions of Americans and be the boldest thing we've ever done, really, in our generation. And it's helping for midterms, at least from the progressives' lens, because they're like, if we don't get anything done, then when we get to the midterms, the Democratic voters won't have any reason to come out and do good for us and reelect us and bring us back here and make sure that we keep the majority. So this is quite bigger than, you know, what we've been seeing all week, which just feels like a bunch of people walking around, you know, going back and forth and having a debate. This actually is about where our country is going to go, and also the result of this, I believe, is going to determine the political power of Washington come next year. So we're going to keep following this. We're going to come back to it. I got to take a break. Stay tuned. This is Amplified on BNC. When we come back, we're going to bring you the human side of this infrastructure debate.